I'm sure all of you are familiar. I'm looking at the audience right now. Looks like all of you are pretty well acquainted with how this works, but I will explain again, as I usually do every month. Welcome to the September 2022 Site Director Debates. Every single month, an election for the Site Director on SCPRP will happen. During this election, different points will be brought up by each candidate, and this debate is the perfect point for them to bring up their doctrines as well as their plans for the site and debate each other on their plans. The debate host, King, will decide most of the rules for the debate. Dude, this echo is fucking killing me. Okay, I just muted him. The debate host, King, will decide the rules of the debate. Typically, each person is given a question, and they have a certain set period of time to answer the question. Once that set period is over, they may not speak anymore, and the next person is given the same amount of time to answer the same question. After that time is over, they will be given a period in which they will debate each other's answers, or perhaps like we've recently been seeing random ad hominem attacks on their character, which, that's always fun. Gotta love that. No, King is not biased. Right?
Of course not.
Of course not. Thank you.
Least corrupt essay.
So we have our candidates Farlow and Ainsley here today. Farlow has been the site director previously. Ainsley, I believe, has held the position of site deputy director at one point or another. So both do have experience working in the site administration. However, what really matters is the points they bring up in today's debate. Hopefully, this debate will help you influence your decision on who to vote for during the election, which will occur tomorrow. The debate has been capped at 1 hour tonight. We know that in the past few months, it's gone on for a very long time, sometimes 2 hours, maybe even longer than that. We wanted to keep it short tonight. We know the school season has started, so we're keeping it at 1 hour. So hopefully you'll tune in and stay for the entire debate. Thank you very much. I'll leave it to the host, King. Good luck to both candidates.
Thank you, Josh. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're going to be doing the debate. So I want to go over the basic rules here so both candidates can understand. I also encourage the deputy directors to be up here as well, as some of the questions I have could be answered by them as well. But this is obviously up to the main candidates if they would like to go through with us. Basic rules are as follows. I will ask you a question. Somebody will give me an answer to that question. They will have a minute to respond to that. And then the next person will have another minute. Like I said, they will then obviously answer. And then they will have a minute to debate each other, basically. So 3 minutes in total. You get the point. Pretty simple. The order in which they will answer is based on what they decide. If they cannot decide, then it will go alphabetically. So in this case, it would go Ainsley first, then followed by Farlow, unless you guys would have it any other way.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, no interruptions. I think you get the point. Pretty simple. We have around 20 questions. We'll get started. Okay. So, first question. This obviously goes to Ainsley first.
Yeah.
What is the main focus of your doctrine?
Dude,
1 minute to
getting
answer.
rid of the fucking monopoly that's going on around here. Like, I know that it may not be a complete fucking monopoly, and I know that, it does happen often that the majority of the candidates that are good candidates are the ones that are reelected nonstop. But at some point, you have to realize that in long term, this is hurting the site or just the general gaming experience. Like especially the gaming experience that I enjoyed when I first joined Deep. I loved the whole RP that was going around, the amount of synergy that was occurring between the different divisions around the site. When Farlow took over FE, it went to the dumps when it comes to that. Like, I'm sorry, Farlow, I was there and I was one of your COs, but there was no RP going on in FE. And to this point, to this day, FE is just dead. Like, it is in the dumps as it was compared to when it was IA. So
10 seconds left.
That is, yeah. Well, fuck it. Yeah, that's what I want to say. I love RP and I want RP to be there.
Okay. I'll cut it short. Your turn, Farlow.
Okay. So one of the main points I want to bring up for my next term is definitely working alongside the Mobile Task Force and the Department of Research, respectively. Research should probably be going under a big transition phase under my term, as I still believe that there's still some work to be done with research. There's a lot of good research. It's improved a ton over the past month. However, there's still work that's needed to be done. I will be working closely alongside Dr. Ken Adams and Dr. Jeff in order to get the changes I want put in. One such example is the subdivision system that I was talking about last month. I still want to add that. As for the MTF, as being an MTF firsthand, I have seen them be quite sloppy with reads at times. Now, this isn't all the time.
10 seconds.
100% of the time, but we need to do more sims, we need to focus on MTF, and we need to strengthen their defense against GOIs.
Okay, we'll call it early. I'll now give you guys a minute to debate each other, or you can just pass on this.
All right.
I'm not passing.
What the fuck do you
Farlow?
mean by the SAHOS monopoly? This is a Gmod server, not a
I'll
fucking
tell you
board
what
game.
I mean. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what I mean by that, right? So there's this sort of like seat of power, right? That one seat of power that no one knows about except you and me, because I've seen you do it. Yeah, you're a part of the fucking globalizing Illuminati. I know you are, and I know that the Jews are behind. Okay, well maybe that's a bit too explicit for this, but I know that you are being controlled by the globalist elites. And I know for a fact that you're being paid for this. And I know for a fact also that all the HOS bow down to you and kiss your ring finger, Farlow. I'm going to have it end. Okay, we're going to slay you. I'm going to have your head on a fucking pike by the end of this, okay? You don't understand how angry I am at this, dude. Like, unironically, I'm going to, like, stuff you in...
All right, we're
maybe
10
tentacles a
seconds.
bit
10
too.
seconds.
Most retarded point I've ever... being paid by the fucking Illuminati? What do you...
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next question. Ainsley first. Why should you be elected over your opponent? 1 minute.
Because I offer something new, like outside of what I'm offering, which is still something that's completely like all right. It's not that I'm a super bad candidate. Just there should be like a distinction there that Farlow has been running this site nonstop for like God knows how long. And King, I know that you're the person here who's talking about this. You're the debate, whatever. But you have also been there for a long time, and I'm not complaining. You guys did a lot for the site. But it's time we get something new in there, man. Like, I remember back when the fucking election season was this really cool thing, and, you know, you didn't know who was going to take power and what the site was going to be like after. But now it's just Farlow's in the running. Oh, it's just Farlow. Oh, King is in the running. Oh, it's just going to be King. It's just the same vibe around the site. I dislike that. I want something new. I think the majority of people would like something new as well. I'm hoping, at least.
10 seconds.
That's it.
That's it? All right. Kind of short. Farlow, your minute.
So I think you guys should vote for me over my opposition. One, because I'm mentally stable and I don't talk about how my opposition is being paid off by the fucking Illuminati. B, I want to bring actual change to the site, and what Ainsley wants to do, aka randomize the site director elections once again. That is something very easily that I can do, if not better.
Then do
so
it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all I have to say.
All right. We'll cut it short. Remember, Ainsley, no interrupting.
Sorry.
Debate period. This is where you get to interrupt each other. 1 minute.
Okay. Farlow, like, I'm not gonna be pissed if you win this at all. Like, I know that this battle is most likely a losing one. I know the majority of people support you. But outside of that, if you can just, at the very least, none of your cabal or your, like, tentacle fingers, because I know you're a fucking alien as well. I know you are a fucking alien. Like, if none of your tentacle fingers are touching what happens with SA after, then I'll be perfectly happy with, not resigning, because I want to see this to the end, but I'd be perfectly happy with giving you the win. Just as long as you make sure that that actually happens and it's not just going to be someone else who runs 4 times.
Yes, I've stated this. I'm running for 1 term, and I'm nominating someone completely random at the end of it.
True, JRV, true.
Okay, I guess we're going to call it short. Okay. Also, some audience members have noted that both of you are very quiet. So if you could increase your mic outputs, that would be great.
I
Uh,
can't.
Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next question, which is going to involve your deputies. Why is your deputy director better than your opponent's deputy director?
Oh, this
1
one's
minute,
kinda
Ainsley.
this one's kinda easy, I'll be honest. Like I've seen Reptile in a lot of good positions. Me personally, I love Reptile. I talk to him all the time. We do private D2 gaming. But Simon is a lot more active. Simon is generally very, very attentive to what goes on in the site. I've seen him like really very deeply analyze like what is the problem with a lot of divisions just like right off the bat. I like that. I want my deputy not to be some random person who sticks on the side. I want my deputy to be equal in power to me, and I give all my trust to Simon. So I think we'll be like a power duo as opposed to just Farlow's slave, like Reptile is. I think that's about it for me.
Okay, calling it early. Farlow, 1 minute.
Funny how you should call Reptile my slave, as Hatfield is a LARPer. Even after I picked Reptile as my SDD, Hatfield actually approached me before he approached you, asking me to be his deputy site director. So I wouldn't really go about saying that Reptile is my slave when you literally have a LARPer running about as your deputy site director. But anyways, Reptile has helped me massively in terms of changes, making legislation, and he's helped shape me into the leader I am today. So yeah, Reptile is not a LARPer. He doesn't leech off other people for trying to get positions. So yeah, that's my point. If you want the evidence, it's in memes images.
I believe you. Oh, sorry. Debate period.
Okay, well, I guess you guys are calling it short on that. This is your debate period. You have 1
Okay.
minute.
So I wanted
Please
to
rip
say,
each other's eyes out.
yeah,
All
we
right.
will. We will. So first off, I know that the Earth is flat. Just want to say that right off the bat. But outside of that, Simon like genuinely told me that. First off, by the way, he didn't approach me. I approached him. Second thing, like I know that he asked you. I was gonna ask you as well because I wanted to get in there and I wanted to actually try and make some changes from using you as sort of like a jump up there. Like I understand that that may seem like oh it's a big deal or whatever, but it isn't. Simon was bored of like DOR, so he wanted something else, and I sort of agree with that. I don't think that's in any way like or any shape and form or whatever words are. I'm like Biden right now. I don't I don't think that changes anything. Sorry. I think Simon just sent me a DM calling me a retard. Hold on.
I have a question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
If your deputy site director could barely even run research, how do you expect him to run the site?
He couldn't barely run research. I actually like a lot of the changes they made. It was pretty active under him.
10 seconds.
He ran it well at the start. He ran it well at the start.
Yeah, well,
but
if
the
your
issue started
deputy
occurring.
cannot run FE, considering that there's zero activity
All right,
right
that's
now.
time. Hold up. All right. This is really quiet. Make it loud. Top tip. It's a lot more funny, a lot more interesting. Okay. What are your strengths that will assist you as site director, Ainsley?
Well, first off, I'm not part of the elitists that have their own weird agenda, which involves Satan and adrenochrome. So I think I'll be a lot more like site involved. Plus, I've been in almost every division, and like I moved from research to 8/10, and I'm a fresh player and all of that. I don't think I'll bring any of the baggage that Farlow might bring unintentionally onto the site. And I'll also offer a new perspective, which I hope that people are interested in. I'm certainly interested in it.
Okay, I
That's
guess we're
about
going to
it.
call it early.
Call
Farlow,
myself
your
smart.
take. 1 minute.
Okay. I have experience. I've been site director 3 times before. B, I'm not a retard like Ainsley. Ainsley was the deputy site director. He got on once for the inauguration, got on once during the middle of my term, and then got on once at the end of the term and got himself demoted, similar to Deputy Director King that you had, Californian King. I'm sure you can relate. He got research coordinator under Hatfield, I believe, and got demoted 3 days later for committing mass fucking
2
murder.
days.
2 days. 2 days. That's even worse. So, yeah. Overall, I am just better in every way, shape, and form than Ainsley. And plus, he's a fucking Swede. Who the fuck wants a Swedish person in office? You know what I'm saying?
Says Mr. Ireland! Ireland!
Okay, we're gonna just go transition straight into the debate period.
Okay, so to address those 2 points that were just levied against me, first off, Farlow, you know damn well I had IRL issues when we ran, like literally IRL issues that couldn't allow me to run. I was barely able to even attend any sort of meeting, so that's a cheap shot. Ouch. You know, I thought we were friends. Outside of that, like for deputy coordinator, coordinator, I couldn't handle that position because at that point in time, I also had to do a lot of work and I didn't want to drag the division down with me. So instead of just leaving instantly, I decided to leave with some RP.
You seem to have work all the time, Ainsley. What's
I
not
do,
going to
because
say
I
that
have
you
a
don't that you're not
life.
going to have work as SD and you're not going to get on the server? You're just going to be another Jacob.
No, bro, no, never. Actually, I've taken a break from work, not because of this, but because I need a vacation, and this is part of my vacation, my planned vacation. I'm hoping, at least.
10 seconds.
Lek knows
Yeah.
what's up.
I ain't got nothing to say to this guy.
Bro, this is so fucking quiet. Alright. Next question. What is the first thing you intend to do as site director, and how do you plan to get it done, Ainsley?
Well, first thing I'm planning on doing, RP. And I don't mean this as like, oh, just push for it or ask people to do it. Oh, sorry, Ginge. Is this better? No, I'm gonna try to basically like create as much scenarios as possible for every division or just the site in general, so we could have actual RP occurring naturally if people want it. Only if people want it. Because I'm not gonna be forcing anyone to do this. I just want the opportunities to be open like they were open to me back in the day. And because I liked it that way, and I think people are missing out on that part of the experience. You know? Like that's it. That's all I want. That's massive reason why I'm running.
Okay, I'm guessing you're calling it early. So
Yeah, I'm calling it.
go to Farlow.
All right. So what I intend to do first, again, is work with the ethics committee and the addition of the third nomination for the ethics committee. Oh shit, Yokin's dying here.
I'm fucking ever. I'm sorry. Go on. My bad.
Are you okay, King?
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, by the way, Ainsley's an airstrike on King because he's an avid Farlow Junta supporter. But regardless, anyways, what was I saying? Yes, ethics committee. So we intend to get the third nomination back for the ethics committee. Ainsley likes to go on these rants about how the elections are boring. We need to nominate new people. Yet he's not changing anything about the fucking election system itself. If we had a third nomination, these were, to be frank, very, very fun and creative nominations that gave opportunity to lesser known players within the community to run the site. Okay. And yeah, we need to get that third nomination for good elections and funner debates.
Time called. Okay, debate period. Go.
Well, the reason that I'm not changing anything with the EC is because I don't know if I can yet, and that's going to be discussed later on. Also, a lot of people have been saying, "Oh shit, King, you good?" Bino's saying you have a wildfire outside of your house.
Oh.
Yeah, no, can't relate. I'm not American. But anyways, like we're not gonna bring it back for sure. I can't make any promises that I don't know will hold up. Like at the very least, I'm gonna say that whoever I'm gonna be nominating next or giving power to, if I was to be like SA, is probably someone new. Not probably, most definitely someone new, be it to the site or just in general someone new to the whole running.
Do you even speak to the ethics committee about your plans? Because you don't seem too sure about what you want to do with them.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't spoken yet because I don't want to make any promises that
5
I can't
seconds.
hold up to.
Exactly. So like you haven't communicated
Time
with
over.
the people. You know what I mean? The people that you need.
Next question. How would you start to bring back good roleplay? And what level of roleplay do you hope to achieve, Ainsley? 1 minute.
That's a good question. I think that one's oriented towards me. Basically, I plan to bring back roleplay by expanding the what the fuck is the word? The like jobs. I forgot what the word for that is. That different divisions have. Like for example, I want to force research. By the way, yes, I use the word force, to do tests that aren't involved with alchemy, because I know they're easy, but there's so much to discover outside of that. I want autopsy tests, stuff like that, non-GM related ones. For FE, I want to push for all of FE to be involved in capturing and interrogating. I want FE to actually have a lot more communication. I want them to have their own sort of like character oriented traits, behavior, stuff like that. MTF, there's been a lot of stuff going on right now with MTF and CI getting closer together, so I think there'll be a lot more easy ways of like having them communicate on a level which will allow us to actually set up
10
like, events.
seconds.
Private events for different divisions. Private events for different divisions is going to definitely make
5
things a lot more
seconds.
fun. Yeah, that's about it. I'm happy and I'm glad that this will happen.
Time over. Farlow. 1 minute.
Okay, so to improve RP, I will say here I do actually agree with Ainsley. He was nominated for the Roleplay Award for a reason, and I must acknowledge his positive traits when I must. He is very good with roleplay, possibly more experienced than I am. As for the research test, I completely agree. To an extent, I do not like alchemy all that much. I believe research should be testing the SCPs we have on site. They're there for a reason. As for D block, I think D class RP should become more and more regulated. The D block schedule is a niche idea. It was a very good idea, but it's not been enforced properly at all. So we want to focus on getting the D block schedule properly enforced by security leadership, as they have not been doing so. It's a bit disappointing to see. It's a good system. Anyways, as for TCU,
10
we'd like to
seconds.
see we'd like to see the tactical containment unit
5
overall
seconds.
doing more RP with D class when it comes to maintaining SCPs and such, and
Time
using
over.
proper protocol.
Debate period starting. 1 minute. Go.
Yeah, Farlow, you had some stuff that you wanted to say, and like out of respect for you, since we're both agreeing on a lot of these things, I want you to continue if that's all right.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really think we need a debate period because this is something we both agreed on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm glad we do. It really gives me hope for the next like term, be it
Okay.
me or you.
Next question. How will you solve the activity issue within any current divisions that are struggling? Ainsley. 1 minute.
Okay. For FE again, by introducing a lot more FE oriented things other than having them be security guards that have cuffs and LCZ. I think FE will be a lot more interesting. It'll allow people to explore that sort of more, I'm a police officer / detective type of aspect of roleplay. For research, it'll promote this whole idea of actually being a researcher. It'll allow people to explore their creativity. I'm assuming that'll really push research forward. Like, for example, investigations that are not completely tied to just one branch of FE, like hogging all the fucking things reptile. Anyways, like, I think I want EC to be more involved with the site in general. For TCU, they're seeing a resurgence right now. Security in Dom, I'm going to be pushing for security to actually have like full-on positions within other divisions.
10 seconds.
This is going to sound weird, but I want there to be more cooperation between divisions because more cooperation equals more fun. I want people to actually be able to RP different aspects of that as well. I think it's
Time
going to be
over.
really fun. Yeah.
All right. Farlow, your turn.
So first off, when it comes to a dying division, I'm not going to explain everything for each individual division. So I'm just going to go for, say, we're just going to anonymous division here. So first off, what we need to do is identify the source of the issues being caused. Is it a lack of jobs? Is it a lack of new players and such? Once that source is identified, we will work with the command team of said division to try and solve that issue. You want to involve the command team heavily on this stuff, as overall it tests their leadership ability and it determines really whether they're competent or not in their positions. Because if they're like, oh, I don't know how to fix the activity, then like, why the fuck are they in the position? They shouldn't be in that position if they don't know what the fuck they're doing. But anyways, we need to get more motivation for the guys on, for example, because I see a lot of the time dead divisions are there because of a lack of motivation. Therefore, we need to get the high leadership figures to motivate their guys to come on with promises of promotions, rewards, and etc.
Time over.
Okay.
Thank you.
For
Debate period.
I'd like to address the last point you made, Farlow. I think that you're moving in the right direction when it comes to what you said. but there is something that I want to point out. A promotion is just a slip of paper, maybe a better weapon, maybe some more people to talk to. But at the end of the day, it's just more responsibility in a division that already doesn't create its own determination. People need to be determined on their own. COs can't just do all of it. Outside of that, I think it's kind of obvious that everybody has to like talk to the division owners, dealers, whatever, HOS, to make sure what is going wrong. I don't think that's a very specific point here, which is why I think I want to make it clear that we also plan to do that. And third, the One Piece! It's real! That's about it for me.
Okay.
Okay.
So, my counterpoint to whatever the fuck he just said. You said the CEOs can't do everything. I agree. However, the people in the division aren't going to get on if there's no CEOs on. At the end of the day, you get on the server to make friends and such. I mean,
10
talk to your
seconds.
leaders within the division. So I haven't got much time. So leaders are what motivate people to get on because they're
Time
fucking
over.
leaders.
Okay. I'm gonna be going to the next question. Top tip though, this is getting boring for people, so maybe give controversial opinions in some of these and not be so, I don't know, restrained. Alright, Ainsley first. If you could remove one head of staff,
Farlow.
who would it be and why? You
Farlow.
must pick one.
Farlow. No, okay. This one's hard, actually. This one's pretty hard. I like everyone who's in a position right now, but I think at the end of the day, the easiest bet for me to say is Reptile, but I think that's a cheap shot because, again, I'm friends with Reptile, and I don't want that to influence our friendship. But at the same time, like, I feel like Reptile, at the very most in this case, it's just a less controversial and active Farlow. And at that point, I'd much rather have Farlow in that position. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it'd be Reptile.
Okay. Farlow.
This is an easy one for me. I don't want to be rude, but Dr. Ken Adams, the director of research. If you look in the announcements channel and research both announcements channels, I haven't seen much from him. Oatmeal is carrying research right now. Definitely the best RA member. He's been impressing a lot, in my personal opinion, doing very well. Carrying research, he has a lot of passion for it. However, I haven't seen as much from Ken Adams. The guy has shown a lot of dedication to research, and I love that. But at the end of the day, I have to pick one person, so I would go with Ken Adams.
Okay, debate period.
Okay,
Okay,
basically.
I'll start this time.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
start
go
this
ahead,
time.
go ahead.
So you said you'd remove Reptile and put me,
Yes.
and you'd rather have me back in place. Doesn't that go completely fucking backwards on the retarded point you made about the SA hit you with Monopoly? Why the fuck you get effing gun muscle?
Okay, we're doing that? Okay, let me explain, right? You said it yourself. At the end of the day, I think it's bullshit that you can just jump from SA to FE, but if I'm gonna have two retards that are constantly jumping from divisions and high positions, I'd much rather be dummy number one, not dummy number two. All right. First off. Second off, I think you underestimate how much Ken is doing. As a member of his RA team, I saw so much fucking shit going on there. He's putting a lot of effort into it. I agree Oatmeal is carrying, but I don't think Ken is doing less than Reptile is. Just saying, RQ, if you will.
All right.
10 seconds.
Site director anyway, so I mean, what am I supposed to do there?
Time over. All right. Next question. If you could remove one member of the ethics committee, who would it be and why? You must pick one. Ainsley, 1 minute.
Ooh, this one's a hard one. Considering the ethics committee, as it currently stands, is very closed off from the majority of people who are not in very high CO positions / not involved. I wouldn't really be able to tell you a lot about how all of them are doing, but I have been keeping track of a lot of the stuff that's going on, and I've heard a lot about Monty not being there when he's supposed to, but at the same time, I think Monty is a very experienced person, so I don't know. As it currently stands, maybe like Quakers, because at the same time, I haven't heard a lot about Quakers doing a lot, so I'm kind of at a disadvantage in this one, Chief. Like, I gotta be honest.
Okay, we'll call it there. Farlow, 1 minute.
I mean, no offense by it, but Monty or Payday. Monty, simply because he hasn't been as active as I'd like him to be as an ethics committee member. Obviously, he's been on a ROA, LOA, forgot what it was, I think it's an LOA, but he's recently gotten off that, so hopefully we'll see the activity come up soon. As for Dr. Payday, I saw today ethics committee member Dr. Payday get kidnapped. Spirit, good point, got kidnapped on day one. And as well as that, today I saw advert by Dr. Payday, RP, scratches monkey's ass. The ethics committee member is scratching SCP-1000's ass. Is this who you really want in our Site 9 ethics committee? I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm guessing this
Okay,
is debate period.
we're gonna move over to the debate period. Yep.
Yeah, let me just say, what if, right, hypothetically speaking, what if SCP-1000 threatened to destroy the whole site if someone didn't scratch his ass? And our brave soldier, Mr. Payday, literally just decided, hey, yo, I'm gonna take this 1L for the team. What if that happened, Farlow? What if that monkey getting his ass scratched saved all of us? Do you ever think about that, Farlow?
But it didn't.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
The monkey's ass got scratched. Do you want to conduct a test where the monkey's ass doesn't get scratched and see what
No,
happens?
because I'm not a fucking retard and stick my fingers up fucking monkeys' asses.
Hey,
unlike yourself.
there's a difference between like, you know, scratching an ass and putting a finger in there.
Yeah,
Just
you know
saying.
Ainsley. But regardless, I probably wouldn't remove Payday. I would probably go with Monty, as I've seen released from him in the ethics committee.
Yeah.
As well as that, as far as I'm aware, he's the lead of the head of the intelligence agency.
10 seconds.
I don't think being the head of the intelligence agency and being a member of the ethics committee work out hand in hand.
True, actually, that is very incompatible. I
Time
agree with you
over.
there.
All right. In your opinion, what is currently the weakest division on site and why? Ainsley, 1 minute.
Yikes, this one's hard. As an FE/MTF main, but I've stopped playing FE. I think it is kind of obvious, right? This is gonna come as a complete shock. It's fucking security, mate. It's fucking security. I don't know why, but it's fucking security. Like, I know that, and this might sound weird, the majority of people who are generally making the backbone of security are people in the enlisted ranks, but the people in the enlisted ranks are currently busy as it's the season, you know, that season. So I don't really blame the division. I think it'll come back eventually, but as of right now, it is definitely the most weak division out there. Like, I see maybe 4 security on like per day sometimes. It's actually kind of sad. I'm hoping that you, Farlow, and I'm gonna open this up
10
right now. I
seconds.
don't like, you're allowed to interrupt me if you want. I want to make this a seamless
it's
like
alright.
conversation, but I want you to like also. Well, I don't want this to be a debate. I want you and me to
Time
sort of
over.
brainstorm ideas to get like security
Farlow,
better.
you're 1 minute.
I agree with Ainsley. I believe the weakest division on site currently is security. Seeing firsthand as a lieutenant, many people are at the maximum rank they can be. Many people are corporals, foremans, SMTs, etc. They have nowhere else to go except down. As on top of that, I believe there's been weak leadership from the security upper command. They have not been present. Mad Dog recently resigned. 07, my boy. Very good to see Indom getting captain. I believe that's a very good sign for security. I have a lot of faith in him. Regimen took an LOA, maybe or maybe not due to the conversation I had with him in suggestions. I don't want to breathe down Cabooses' neck too much because people already do this all the time, but I do not believe that Deputy Chief Fish has been performing up to standard as Deputy Chief of Security. A lot of people have been
10 seconds.
with it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Debate
We'll
period?
open into debate period.
Okay,
1
I've
minute.
got a couple of things to say. To start off with, Indom sent me a message that says, "You're slowly dying out while I get bigger," targeted towards Farlow. And considering Farlow is in security, I think this might be irrelevant. So, Farlow, care to elaborate about what you think that message is about?
I have no idea. Did you not know Indom's a fucking fanboy? What everything he says makes no sense.
Oh, wow. So someone's sexuality is going to influence how you think of their opinion, whether it's valid or not, Farlow?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm actually undercover. I'm working with Twitter. We're going to ban all your accounts. In fact,
I'm already
I'll
banned on
have-
Twitter.
But what
because
did he do?
I got banned because there was a Republican sign that said it had a Nazi logo, and I replied to it saying I want to be a Republican now.
10 seconds.
Fair. You know what? Fair. You can have that. I'll hand this one to you. This round's yours.
All right, time over. So we're now halfway through our questions. I'm going to be asking for viewer questions. Still going to be a while before we get to these, but if you have any, please send them to me now. Okay, moving on to the next question. If you could bring back one prior HOS, or let's just say any high command figure, anybody really respectable, to solve an ongoing problem with any division on site, who would it be and why? Ainsley, 1 minute.
Yo, okay. This is going to be a very controversial opinion, like a super controversial one. But I'm saying this because I mean it from the heart. It's the first thing that popped up to me when I said this, when I thought of this. It's not Saving Joe. It's Dr. Randy. And I know that this is kind of like weird to say, but
Slavia Ukraina.
yeah, I know. But just the amount of RP that occurred under him, he was so nice to everybody. Like he really promoted a lot of like activity on research. Like it is sad what happened there, but like while he was around, he really gave me a lot of my best experiences in deep gaming. So for me, like out of sentimentality and respect, I'd say Dr. Randy.
All right.
Okay, time's up. Follow. 1 minute.
I wouldn't go. I mean, my cousin actually came up to me and said, "Oh, I think you should pick this HOS. You should bring this HOS back, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's a really good cousin. I miss him a lot. Don't see him very often. But anyways, I would bring back Security Chief Joe. Now I know this is a very cliche answer. I know that a lot of people would expect this kind of shit, but he is the person that security needs right now. He's the leader that security needs. He made security great. He set up the foundations of security that we have right now. And if it wasn't for him, then I don't know where security would be. So if I had to bring back a single leader, it would most certainly be Chief Joe. We've had our differences, but at the end of the day, security needs to be fixed. And in the grand scheme of things, I believe the leader that we need to bring back to the site is Chief Joe.
Okay. 1 minute debate period. Go.
There isn't a lot to debate.
Yeah,
He
there's
made
not
a
a lot to
choice.
debate.
I made
Okay.
a choice.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Joe doesn't want it, Justice. It's the hypothetical.
All right, we'll pass it up then. Going on to the next question. I hope you guys probably utilize this one. This is basically slander. Criticize your opponent for something that they did that negatively affected the site.
Ooh.
Ainsley, 1 minute.
First off, I'm at a great disadvantage here, but I'd like to use my little bit of time to clarify that everything that I've done for the site, I've done for the sake of creating RP. All sort of minge that I've done has been in character, and I've always accepted the consequences for all my minge. But Farlow, real quick, adding all those fucking useless positions. You remember those? The ones that you added where you just kept completely like switching around your deputies and adding secretaries and shit like that. I don't know, man. Like the fact that you only put in people who were there for nepotism kind of was the start, in my opinion, for making SA look like a gang club for all the funny people that you like. For me, it negatively impacted how I saw SA, but I don't know about the others. So that's about all I can say here.
Okay, we'll close it out early. Farlow, 1 minute.
Let me start off by correcting Ainsley. Secretaries and shit, this was in V5. You did not play in V5, so allow me to correct you. There were always 3 SA positions. And my 3 SA always were throughout my term and always was Peak, Reptile, myself. By you saying I constantly jumbled around the positions is fucking retarded. I changed the site secretary to the personnel director, and I put Reptile in that position. Then I swapped around Peak and Reptile. It's pretty simple. I did not constantly jumble around the positions. As for the double site deputy director thing, I believe that may be what you're referring to.
Yeah, I was. I apologize.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't give a fuck. I do not care at all. I am the site director. I will do what I want.
Dude, it's like when you removed the 2-term limit. That also was a really funny fucking moment.
Do you want to talk
Just-
about that? Because we can talk about that. We can talk about the 2-term limit. I can have a whole
No.
conversation about that.
Yeah, no, I'd
Okay,
love to.
alright. Alright,
Since there's
time.
debate period,
Yep. Debate period.
Yeah.
1 minute. There you go.
I'd love
Okay.
to discuss the fucking thing you brought up, the policy about the two terms not being the maximum, because I thought it was there for a reason, you know?
See, this is the SCP Foundation. This is not the United States of America. Why the
Oh.
fuck should we have term limits? That's retarded.
It's funny you should say that, because last you said was, this was a game, and I don't give a fuck, when the site director is supposed to give a lot of a fuck. So, you know, just...
Yeah, because I have opinions on these matters, and as the site director, I can change. What is your point?
My point is, basically, you can't say that, oh, in RP it would be a certain way, and then also go, well, I don't know, I'm gonna promote these people who have nothing to do with the site, give like extra SD positions, randomly make the fucking reptile guy, I don't know who he is, I never met him before,
10 seconds.
like into
Okay,
fucking...
Reptile. Okay, I'm gonna very quickly correct you. Reptile was my running opponent in V5. Reptile was my site deputy director in V5 as well. And
And time called.
But-
Unfortunate. All right. Next question. Do you intend to change the recruitment members or current procedures for Alpha 1 or Omega 1?
Okay.
Ainsley.
I don't know. I sort of like where Alpha 1 and Omega 1 is, but there's one thing here that I want to say that I think will lose me a lot of votes from the members of O1 and A1, but I mean it, and it's the fact that I don't like the fact that they just flag on with no one to protect and just walk around the site using the OP weaponry and HP to mess around and do whatever they want to do. I think that's pretty nonsense. Yeah, I don't like that. I think that's kind of stupid. But otherwise, like, Curry did a very good job with O1. I see them active all the time protecting EC, and A1 is lacking in comparison, but it's still there when it's necessary. So I like it as it currently is, except for that.
Okay, time called. Farlow.
As of right now, I don't think nor Ainsley nor I have much information on the inner workings of Alpha 1 as it stands right now. So if I do win the election, frankly, I probably won't be changing much about Alpha 1. I intended to add an Alpha 1 lead, but it appears that the former director Sievers already added that and put Chains in the position, who is conveniently also the person I intended to put in there. So to be frank, I'm going to do, if I get in the position, I'll see how Alpha 1 works. If it works the same way as it worked when I was still site director, and there's nothing really to change, but yeah, I'll be speaking to Chains about Alpha 1, see what it's like, and comment about anything, maybe I would personally like to change.
Okay. Time called. Debate period.
I don't think there's a lot to debate.
You guys don't have anything to
agree with
debate?
Farlow a bit. Like, all the stuff that I said was stuff that I noticed and some stuff that I heard from my friends in A1 and O1, but otherwise,
Well, no,
it
I have
isn't
a
that
question
much.
actually.
Yeah?
Did you say Alpha 1 was lacking in comparison to Omega 1?
Yeah, I'd say they are. Not in weapons or whatever, just in activity. And I know that that's because, like, SA aren't active right now, so there's no one to protect. But even back then, before, there was just a bunch of A1 roaming around instead of protecting
Yeah.
people in the HOS position. I dislike that.
Also, actually, now that I think about it, that's a really good point brought up by Fridge. Most of the Alpha 1 are old guys that Jacob brought back. So, yeah, we'll be doing a little
Wipe?
Alpha 1
Yeah.
purge of all the inactive guys that played during like V1 and V2. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, they're entitled to a free fucking Alpha 1 job.
10 seconds.
True. I mean, that's. I think that's all, right, Farlow?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll cut it there early. Next question. What is the ethics committee's biggest issue? How do you intend to repair the issues within it? Ainsley, 1 minute.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear your question. I have ADHD. Can you repeat that?
What is the ethics committee's biggest issue? How do you intend to repair the issues within it?
Okay. Well, again, I don't really know that much about how EC is operating, but instead of saying that they have a really big issue here, I'd say it's more like they're having a bit too much fun in comparison to the rest of the site when it comes to the RP. I'm not saying that they should have less RP, fuck no. I'm just saying if in some way we could open that up to the rest of the site and have them be more active and touching shoulders with other people in a meaningful way where other people can get involved, that would definitely be positive for the site. So I think the biggest issue is that they're like hogging all of it at the top and not a lot of it is trickling down.
All right, we'll cut it early. Farlow, 1 minute.
The ethics committee, I have 2 issues with them. They don't. Oh my god, my watch is going off. Can y'all hear that? But anyways, the ethics committee do not know the true extent of their power. I remember old versions of the ethics committee. They were active. They were actively releasing legislation. Trying to help the site best they could. The current ethics committee, they don't do that. They don't. They contribute little to nothing. They are genuinely just fucking pansy fucking SIEC positions. They're pansy administrative positions. And B, they are very paranoid of the site administration. With the recent controversy between Deputy Director Falcone and the Ethics Committee, of course, tensions have been running high between the two parties. However, the Ethics Committee, they're always a bit too cautious around the site administration. That's why no one likes the Ethics Committee.
10 seconds.
All right, Crockers, DM me after the debate, then we could talk about that.
Okay.
I'm
All right,
assuming
we're going to
that
move on
it's a
to debate period.
Yeah. Actually, I agree with what you said, and that was something that I made because I used to be a former EC member right before the SOP was fully written out and everything. And the old version, I always campaigned for the idea that we should be told what our procedures, where our powers are limited wise, and I think what killed all of that and crushed everyone's dreams is when Site Director King, God rest his soul, uh, managed to somehow PK every single member of the ethics committee for inactivity when he himself was part of the reason why the ethics committee felt like they couldn't really be open enough to be active. I think the majority of them are afraid that there's going to be another turnover because with Falcone, as you said, there was a big sort of almost everybody was going to die moment. I don't want that to happen for the ethics committee, and I don't think the ethics committee want to play with fire. So if we could just agree from now, you and I,
5 seconds.
whatever happens,
Right,
you and I will make sure that the EC
there's
are
no
untouched.
trust. Look, can I speak? Could I ask for an extra second?
Considering we've skipped a couple.
So the main issue of the ethics committee, there's no trust between the ethics committee and the site administration. They can't really make coherent decisions together. There's no chance in communicating between the two because neither trust each other. Because the EC are always at the SA's throats. The SA are always at the EC's throats. This is why the ethics committee has not worked in the past because all the parties hate each other. The HOS and SA, it's always the HOS SA against the EC. The EC are always perceived to be the fucking retard power trippers. Whenever at the end of the day, the EC are simply our co-workers. We should be working alongside them, not against them. But yeah, I believe that one important foundation to lay during my term is to build up more trust between the site administration and the ethics committee.
Okay, time over. All right. Hearing a lot of agreements here and there, so hopefully this next one gets you at odds with each other. Say one bad, possibly horrible thing about your opponent and their partner. Ainsley, 1 minute.
Dude, these questions won't get me to criticize Farlow big because the thing is, I criticize Farlow's need for always being in a position of power. But at the end of the day, I understand that that's only because Farlow wants to be active within the site that he enjoys. Shut the fuck up, okay? How about this? I'm gonna say something negative about you instead, fucking troller. Funny
I'm fucking
man.
god, bruh.
Yeah. Fucking listen, bro. You out here acting like a robot, bro. Every delivery you say, and you're exactly on cue on everything, and there's no variation. Can you give some more pep to the fucking debates? You're the host. You're supposed to be the power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's being paid off by the Illuminati.
Bro, literally, he's being paid off by the Illuminati. Thank you, Farlow. I
Yes.
forgot
Oh my
about
God, if you guys had some fucking zest and yelled at each other, or maybe had
Can
some
you
different
fucking have
opinions,
some
things would be
zest
interesting,
instead,
huh?
fucking dumbass.
Jesus.
I swear to God, they picked like the slowest host of all time. Like literally a Californian. What do you think he's doing all the time? Fucking smoking weed, obviously. Probably high off his mind right now. Aren't you fucking
Excuse
kidding
me?
Sorry.
Yes. That's right.
My
That's
dad was
right.
a drug dealer.
Yeah, that's
Bunch
right.
of
You say
fucking
sorry to make
frauds.
some later. Like
Do
Brandon
not
said,
be
I know
afraid
you're a
to
follower.
insult each other, alright? This is a fucking video game. Nobody cares if you actually have a little bit of opinion. You don't have to
But
be
there's
like
no
fucking
opinion.
blank
No.
slates just so you can get
No,
some
King,
extra votes.
Listen,
right?
King, it's not that I'm doing this to get extra votes. It's that whenever I try to think about a negative thing about Farlow, I really cannot come up with that much. Like, yeah, he's a bit hard to approach sometimes, sure, but like the difference
Alright.
is relatively that big of a
Same
deal.
old shit, different day. Next question. With recent changes, what is your opinion?
We really need that sort of creativity to be pumped into the site. I think another really fun aspect of that would be trying to figure out these SCPs, not having like a full document written down, but just an acquisition for it and how it happened. That'll give research a field day. I was really looking forward to that, and I'm glad that JRB thought of it. Like, great idea there. I fucking love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
time over, Farlow.
Yeah, what I did, I love the idea as well. What I suggested, I think a couple like months back, maybe I can't remember when, but I did bring it up, was to have events for research in which there'd be an anomaly brought on site, but researcher would be told nothing about the anomaly, and they'd actually have to research it. I mean, they'd have to find out what its anomalous abilities are, so they can actually do their job. Most times with anomalous beings, research are essentially handed the anomalous effects on a silver platter. And that's not fun. That's why researchers don't have that much fun during these big events, because everyone knows what the anomalies do. There's no point in fucking having research there when there's nothing to research.
Alright, debate period.
Okay,
I'm guessing
Farlow?
you guys aren't gonna have one.
We are. I don't disagree with Farlow here, but I love the fucking idea, and I think it would really get the crowd sort of excited for our term or his term or my term in particular.
Okay.
If we were to like flesh out on it. So Farlow, that fucking idea is bonkers good. I fucking love it. Are you gonna have like a sort of GM exclusive type thing where they do that, or are you just gonna like tell them when to do that, or like I want to know more because I want to steal your idea.
I could probably talk to King about it. Probably coordinate that. So, and also Justice, ass all the way.
Huh?
Alright, this is debate period, so we're gonna skip over this. Not just agreeing with each other.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Concerning the last site administration's actions in preventing termination of SCPs, that being hostile SCPs like SCP-096, what is your opinion on the termination and neutralization of SCPs, specifically hostile ones? Ainsley, 1 minute.
I think it'll give fucking researchers a shit ton to do as well. But something that I wanted to talk about. When I used to be a researcher back in the day, I loved the idea of actually having someone, or even me included, find a way, though very hard and complicated, to actually manage to eliminate an SCP. I know it's retarded and it won't work because we need the SCPs on site, but with the addition of the new creative ones that we come up with, if possible, it would be very fun for us to just straight up like kill those SCPs if they are deemed for termination by O5, which GRB can decide. So it'll give researchers a sort of way to measure how great they are. It'll give them memories, shit like that. I think it'll be good. I like that. I want to kill more SCPs.
Alright, time over. Farlow, 1 minute.
Okay, I'm actually on the opposite end of this. Whilst I do believe that terminating SCPs would add a whole lot of interest to the server, it's been fucking ages since we last terminated an SCP. However, you can't just go up to the DOR or the site director and ask him, yo, can I kill this SCP? They can't just say yes to that. You need O5 approval for that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just fucking go ahead and terminate SCPs. You can't just go ahead and say, I'd love to terminate all these SCPs. Because fun fact, Ainsley, you're not. You're not going to be able to terminate jack shit. Because O5 are just going to say no. You know what I mean? There's no need to terminate these SCPs. You're giving false hope You're giving false
Yeah,
hope to
no,
the people
no,
that they
no,
are going to be able to
okay,
terminate
okay.
these SCPs.
Okay, glad you disagreed there, because I have a way of actually implementing it. If JRB is going to be adding his own fucking creative ones, or if the GM team is going to be, at that point, they don't need to be fixtures in the site. We could literally just, I mean, at that point, we could run out of space if we were to put all of them there permanently. At some point, there will be a fucking SCP that needs to be taken out.
Well, yeah.
And then we
10
could have
seconds.
a whole RP research thingy about how they were destroyed, and then people
Yeah,
would
for
feel
three,
awesome and it
three.
would work.
Through 3 isn't the necessary SCP
Alright,
that they're going to be terminated.
Time over. Okay, last question before we go into viewer questions. What is a controversial opinion you have on something on site? Ainsley, 1 minute.
Yikes. There isn't enough RP, and also too many people in the high positions. And also, I can see all the symbolism around the site. I know for a fact that we are like just a microcosm for the fucking United States government, for FEMA to actually check out how their psychological weapons work. I know for a fact that every single fucking font and every single weapon is being nerfed and fucking buffed just so you can fuck with us. And I know, King, I know that you know this. And I know that right now you're quaking in your boots because I'm calling it out. But fucking XM8, you're telling me the fucking XM8 can 2-tap now? And it runs at like 7 Mach 8 fucking bullets? Like shoots a million bullets at like 3 fucking seconds per fucking million. It's so fucking broken. And now all snipers that the fucking people have to one shot? Bro, nah. Nah. I'm done. Your weapon balancing is shit. Shit, bro. Shit. I'm sorry. I love it. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's very good. But a lot of the times, the decisions
10
you guys make are
seconds.
kind of fucking weird. 8 out of 10 as a DMR that can 2-tap somebody very fucking easily. One headshot, one body. And it's full fucking auto. It's full auto.
The most M&E I could have gotten on was like 3. It's not. When they are able to build checkpoints, their checkpoints are better. They build checkpoints near enough instantly when they're on and there's no M&E on, which is essentially all the time because M&E
10
is dead.
seconds.
So therefore, I believe that the M&E department should be dissolved and absorbed in the FE, as it also takes a lot of stuff off of security's chest and helps that get activity up as well.
Time over. Debate period.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real, Ainsley.
Yeah? Sorry.
I did not listen to any of your controversial opinions. All I heard was that there's not enough RP going on. There's too many people in leadership positions, and then you were waffling a shit ton about guns.
Yeah, sorry. I
I
have
understand that.
as MTF, I have a very fucking like special opinion about those. But yeah, that was about all I had controversial wise, all the ones that mattered. Nice one, Farlow. That was pretty
10
fucking big.
seconds.
You're fucking disgusting. You're like a fucking ogre. You know that guy Shrek? You're like fucking Shrek. Except you're disgusting, and I don't want to fuck you.
Time over. Okay, relax. Okay, so we're going on to viewer questions. We're going to start with Spear. He has the question: if you had to add another SA role, what would it be? Ainsley,
If I had to add one,
there's a gun to your head.
okay, site counselor. And I know this is gonna sound very weird, and it's already been used name-wise for a lot of dumb shit. But I don't want site counselor to be some sort of fucking random ass position that's not being used. I want it to be actually a position where someone can actually fucking walk up to the site counselor and talk to them about their fucking day, and the site counselor can actually bring up issues that are being discussed up to the fucking SA and like actually talk about them. I want HR basically. I want that to be like a role where all they do is essentially breach the gap between the enlisted players and just SA in general.
Okay, time over. Farlow.
So what I would do, you had a gun to my head, right? I would add the site defense general, okay? See, once he pulls the gun and walks away, I'd remove site defense general. Easy, because the position isn't fucking needed. Therefore, I would be adding no new site administration positions. So yeah, there's no need for a new SA position. I've learned a
I
lot
agree.
from the last few months, and yeah, we do not. Like, I'm sorry, King, but the SA positions you had, I think even you can agree that they were a bit iffy.
Better to try. All right, debate period.
Yeah, no, I agree with Farlow. Like, if if the question
Okay,
wasn't
so no debate
so damn
period.
pushy,
Woo! All right, next
The
question.
14th millionth time he's agreed with me today. Jesus, I'm on a
This
roll.
you
is
agreed
from
with me too.
research coordinator Jerry. Here's a question. Do you have any ideas on how to encourage more people to RP as SCPs? Ainsley first. 1 minute.
What do you mean by encourage more people to RP as SCPs? Like people to RP as SCPs, or like have RP be done? Like,
RP as SCPs.
okay, yeah. Well, at that point, you can just push for research to have more tests done and more interesting ones that
That's it?
involve the. No. Just more tests done that involve actually having a discussion with the SCP, like how Waluigi and Silent Dios tried for a little while. Waluigi is the king for this. Like, honestly, he just completely dictate how that shit works. Like, I think that should be a question for Waluigi, less for us, because at the same time, I don't think how that's sort of something that I can do that much about outside of manipulating the divisions.
Okay. Follow. 1 minute.
Okay, what I was going to say, I was also going to say more research tests with actual playable SCPs, because all I do is alchemy. But as well as that, more SCP reworks. So many of the SCPs are so fucking outdated. Like,
But that's
it's
up to
ridiculous.
staff.
It's ridiculous. Their sweps are. I know that it's a bit hard to reform them and shit, but the SCPs get super fucking boring because it's been the same shit for years. And obviously you can't remove all the core SC. You can't remove 106. His swep is stale as fuck. But again, you can't remove him. It's 106. What are you supposed to do? And a lot of that as well. RPing as SCPs. People. I'm gonna keep it real. Most people do not play SCPs to roleplay,
All right, 10 seconds.
and that is very simple. People play SCPs to cause chaos and to fuck everyone over. Oh my god.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
over.
Debate period.
Debate period.
Okay. Well, first off, I think revising any sort of SCP, their loadout, how their weapons work, or how they work within the site is not our job as SA. We can't really do that. All we can do is suggest to JRB and the gang, and I don't know how I can fucking do that. I don't think that'll work. Also, I think if you're gonna tell me that all they want to do is create chaos, well, then we're completely tied. Our hands are tied. We can't do anything. Like, just yeah, sure, they can create chaos. So are we gonna have them be RP'd more as people who just create more chaos? That's also a staff issue. We can't decide that as SA. Our whole job is to make the site better, not have more SCP breaches. We could do that. You could introduce a fucking order where a cadet walks up to every CC and opens it every 30 minutes.
Okay,
But I
let
don't
me
think
just stop
that's
you
how
right there.
that
Let me just stop you
works.
right there. You have just told me that you don't know how to make a fucking suggestion to Brandon.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I
Do
know.
you have
No one
Down
knows.
syndrome? Do you actually have Down syndrome? I don't know how to suggest it to
5
Brandon.
seconds.
How do you suggest it to Brandon? I don't know how to do that as the site director.
It's not that I
Time
don't. It's not that
over.
I don't. Okay,
Time
shut up, King.
over.
Shut up. I'm gonna go over you.
Time
It's not that.
over.
You can keep repeating that while I'm speaking.
Thank
Retard.
God, bro. Checked out the
What do you
right
not
person.
understand? All right. This guy gonna calm down. All right.
Okay, fine.
All right. Next question. This one is specifically at Farlow. You've ran a lot. What will change this term to make them better than others? This is from Cloud Dude.
To be fair, this is going to be my final term before I leave Deep Gaming for a solid while, for a good couple months. I got school, got in real life responsibilities, so I plan on finishing this term out with a bang. I intend on being very active, causing a lot of RP. Kind of do a site director king, a lot of corruption RP. And as such, make things interesting for people, give FE, IA a lot of work to do. Whilst on top of that, also making good changes to the site for people to enjoy, such as for new research goodies, TCU stuff, and then some stuff for FE, of course, because I will be pushing for M&E to be merged into FE, of course. So, yeah. I want to go out with a bang.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, next question is from Acro. How would you both encourage GMless RP, this RP without GMs, within research? How would you try to break research's reliance on GMs? Ainsley first, 1 minute.
So, my first ever test, and the one that I'm most happy about because of how interesting it was a test about just using 294 and like making up our own conclusions based on how the like SWEP worked or how the machine worked in the first place. Just sort of, I don't think all tests need to fit some sort of bill. Like you can just come up with connections based on the fact that this SCP is running this way or that way. You can be very speculative. There's uh, like so much to do within the details of how the different sweps are, like just on its own, or how the site is working. Like I think like it isn't an issue with how to promote it from us, though I do think that by pushing for more researchers to be like praised for doing
10
tests outside
seconds.
of alchemy, yeah, whatever. I'm trying to say basically is you guys can be creative, and I know you can. As long as I can show you guys that you can be creative and create more opportunities for creativity, then I'm fine. Then that's how it's going to be done.
Okay. Farlow.
So to encourage GMless RP, it's kind of ironic, but GMs are involved in it itself. GMs, play SCPs a lot. You know what I mean? Like Waluigi is a great example. Waluigi is a super good example of being able to test on an SCP without needing a GM. We've all seen Waluigi on 049. It's fucking incredible. We need more players like Waluigi to be playing these SCPs and encouraging the researchers to actually engage and roleplay with them. Because at the end of the day, player on player, roleplay will always be above fucking doing a test and a GM holding your hand. However, to encourage it, it is quite difficult because you don't get many people like Waluigi in this community. This isn't a very serious RP server, I must say. However, in order to increase the incentive to play on these SCPs, to roleplay as these SCPs, I believe that there should be more RP accessibility. So, for example, I believe that we should request to the logistics department for new SCP sentient ones, to be exact, sentient ones that you can fucking talk with and shit like that. For example, like 049 gets boring. 049 gets very boring to test with, and I know Brandon's gonna say,
Time over.
Can I request
Alright.
more time?
Well,
debate period. Do I even have to ask this one?
Oh my god, bro.
You can
I'm
have the
sorry, but
debate
like,
period if you
King,
wanna
why
continue for a
1
while.
minute, bro? Like, come on.
Hey, Josh is the one that restrained it to an hour. Go blame him, alright?
Well, yeah, true that. But
He's getting on my ass right now, dude. He's being fed. He's saying it. Alright.
my god,
So
why
we're
is
gonna do
Libby
one
the
more
burger
question.
pestering me in SCP General, bro? Shut the fuck up, you shitty senior admin. Fuck off, retard.
Alright.
Anyways,
We got one final question. This is from Grape. It is for each of you. This one's to Farlow first, and then we got one for Ainsley. Farlow, why should we vote you for SD? Isn't a new face a good thing?
well, yes, I believe that a new face is a good thing, but it completely depends on the face. Like, for example, if I was running against, say, fucking Nice, would you vote for Nice? For example, that fucking annoying little 12-year-old retard that is a failed scummy abortion. But anyways, but I think people should vote for me, personally, because I want to set the foundation for future elections and how and unleash the potential that they can have. I don't know if everyone here was around for them, but we had the 3 candidate elections. The debates were fucking amazing. They were really fun to watch. They're truly amazing spectacles. And the elections themselves were also really good, mainly because you got to see one of the 3 candidates get absolutely clowned on, whilst the other 2 were actually finding it out. And as just many other things, 3-person elections were fucking great. And what I intend to do, I intend on setting the foundation for new faces to show up in the site administration.
Okay. Ainsley,
Yeah.
your question goes as follows. How can you ensure that you're going to do better than Farlow? He did a great job in the past.
Yeah, I'm aware Farlow did a great job in the past, but that's sort of why I'm running. Like, Farlow has ran 3 times now. He did great 3 times. Farlow has his own brand of doing great, right? He's got his own strengths, his own weaknesses. When it comes to his strengths, he's already put a very big imprint on the site, right? That Farlow's like fingerprint is everywhere. But we need other aspects to be fleshed out as well, aspects that Farlow might not touch on as much. He admitted himself that he might not be as great in RP as I am. And I don't want to stroke my own dick here, but I do agree with that statement. And I think that is sort of what the site needs right now. You know, we need a different focus. We need a different direction. We're going to keep everything that Farlow has done before. Well, maybe some stuff we'll remove. But other than that, I think definitely we need new faces. We need new focuses. We need a new direction to head all together as a people.
Okay.
How's it dick eating? I'm admitting that he's done some good stuff.
All right. So,
He's still a dictator and working for the Illuminati. And also
although
the
our
Earth is
questions are
flat.
done, I'm going to give you guys. Yeah, I'll give you guys 2 minutes if you want to say anything at all.
All right.
Say it now.
So,
It's like your open debate for doing
Oh.
anything.
First and
Carlos wants
foremost-
to.
first and
Carlos wants to
foremost,
hear-
Ainsley.
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Carlos wants me to. Okay, I will win a division bowl as the site director. There you go. But anyways,
Okay, good.
Ainsley, you stated
Yeah?
that you would be better than me. Yes. And how you wanted to fix RP. That's been the aim for many, many months. To
Yeah,
answer
and
your
it's still in the
question-
dumps, Farlow. It's still in the fucking dumps.
Well,
Like-
yeah, but I don't think that just you can fix that. I mean,
Yeah,
that
no, I
requires,
don't
it
think
requires
just
the
me
hands-on
can
efforts
fix
of
it.
multiple people.
Yeah, but I
people.
think but I think you've been there for quite a while now, and it hasn't really improved that much under you. It's never been the focus. So if it's been the focus,
because
that
it was
you're
never the
telling me
issue.
now,
Because RP was never the issue when I was site director.
well, then what? Well, your issues are
You also
finished
stated
now.
that
You've
there was
admitted
no
yourself.
RP and
Farlow,
FE.
yeah,
If that is the case, why was I considered the strongest HOS while I was in position, and amongst many other things?
Farlow, the
I don't
majority of
understand.
people who were in FE when you came to power were people who did not know what IA was like. And I think that's something that needs to be made clear. I'm not dissing you for being a bad leader. I'm just saying that you can't claim all the credit for that as your position is so great. It's because the majority of the people that
1
are
minute.
there to vote are the people who are not burnt out. And the majority of those are people who just made it to the site. All they know is Farlow. Like, that's been the case in so many situations.
That's not going to change. It's
Yeah,
not going to change. It's always going to be the person.
well, it's gonna change. Yeah, well, it's gonna change the person. The vote is gonna be different, even if you're not Farlow or whatever. If, for example,
So
Green
if
was
you
to
had
take over
like,
FE,
for example, let's give an example. If you had Brandon run against this complete
Yeah.
rando, do you honestly think that this complete rando can like actually make a difference? Because I'm gonna keep it real with you.
no,
They
but
will not.
that's the wrong question. That's the wrong question.
All right, Jacob
completely.
Sievers is here to give his take
Okay,
because yours
can
is
you-
shit.
Jacob,
All right.
Jacob, I need you to hold on. I have something I wanted to say first off, right?
I'm
I
letting you
know that-
continue.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. So basically, if Brandon was to run against some complete rando, but the complete rando had better points than Brandon, it's not a question of if the complete rando will win. It's a question of will I vote for him or will you vote for him? I'll vote for the guy who has the better policy. Like, just straight up, I'll vote for the guy who will make a better change onto the site. Now, JRB most likely will have the better change than the complete rando, but I'm still gonna make that decision based on the fact that this person is a new face, sure, but they'll have new opinions with them. Like, I don't think the vote should be just who's gonna win. Who I predict is gonna win is the person that I'm gonna vote. I think that's how you sort of go into a narrow-minded. Like, that's the problem with the United States system too. Like, everyone's just sort of so worried about voting independents or their own like justice system, like
Okay.
fucking people in control. They're also afraid
Let
of
me
that
just-
that they just vote the next
Let me
closest
just.
thing.
Can I?
Yeah.
real quick? Okay. So you talk about how you would vote for this rando, how you would vote for this rando because he had better points.
Yeah.
You do not represent the wider deep gaming community. You don't represent them. Not all of
still
them
gonna vote.
think like you do. That all of them will vote based on names. I'm sorry to say it, but everyone in this audience, you're all sheep. You're all fucking sheep who vote based on names. Most of you are, and a lot of you can't admit that. You vote based on who's running and not the plans. and it's very, very simple. But yeah, but it's not going to change, Ainsley. It's not going to change because you have a different opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
know, I
strive for
know.
it. You can strive for it,
Yeah.
but there are some things that we just can't change.
There's still an honor in striving for fixing the system. That's something that I've spoken a lot to King about. He said that a lot of people have told me I don't stand a chance against you, and sure, I might not, but I'm not going to
You
back
do.
away from
You
this.
do.
It's not that. That's not my point. My point is basically the projections were that I was going to lose for sure. I still came here not because I wanted to win or that I wanted to hold on to the chance. It's because I think that it's my duty as someone who wants other people to do the same to push and strive to make sure that everybody who is actually better at policy, that actually, you know, you understand my point, right? Like I'm still gonna be that guy
You
who
never
still does
elaborated on your point. You just went, explain my
Sorry.
point.
Sorry. Okay, I can elaborate. Do you want me to elaborate
Uh,
on the?
I don't think we
Listen,
need any-
I'm gonna be
I don't
honest
think
with
we
you.
need
I
any
don't think
elaboration.
everybody needs to elaborate. Yo, chill out. You guys have been arguing about the United States of fucking America. Listen, at the end of the day, you guys gotta realize, okay, when it comes to running, you gotta understand there's a general populace who attends these debates. These people are the people you have to convince, and these people are the people that will be switching sides as we speak. So you're wrong. Both of you kind of wrong, but these people are the one that are gonna, switch sides. If they were in Farlow, if you had a better idea, you gotta convince these people, Ainsley. You can't be saying to them, "Oh, they're no one wants to hear a pity game, bro." So stop doing the pity shit because I don't like it, and it's a dumb. I don't know what the hell this open debate was about. Instead of you conflict going after Farlow against his doctrine, you instead decided to talk about the United States of America, greatest country in
No,
the world, by the way.
Farlow. Farlow made a point about how the majority of people are going to vote based on names. I'm making a point that the majority of people should vote based on the plans of the people in power.
Yeah,
Farlow
but
gave an
Good point out.
example.
Paulo agrees with you. Paulo agrees with you. He's just saying that for the majority of the populace, whoever they see more active and who they see more of in the candidacy, they're going to vote for. But
I
listen,
don't
listen.
disagree with that. Yeah, sorry.
No, but exactly, that's the whole point. We found common ground. The problem is, you guys are opponents. You guys are going after each other for no reason. You guys found common ground. Why are you going to debate on common ground? You know what I mean? You got to go to something else.
True.
Attack each other's doctrines and what you
That's what I
see.
was gonna
You
do.
know, me and Brandon attacked Farlow's doctrine several times, and I expect Farlow to do the same against Ainsley.
Jacob,
Yo,
can I speak real quick?
I got you. I'm out. But that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say, boys. Stop talking about the fucking USA and who's voting.
Yes.
Talk about your doctrine, boys. Come on.
Yeah, we'll do.
What do you
Thank you,
mean?
Mr.
What do you
Yerby.
mean? Yes, you were the one that was talking about that. But
Hey,
anyways,
Paulo, stop.
It was
Stop.
hesitant.
Go to something else. Hey, Listen, moderation has to be done. Stop fucking arguing with each other. Stop going back. It's over. Go to another subject. All right?
I was
All
going
right, Paulo. I want you to find something in Ainsley's doctrine, and I want you to attack it.
I've already
Harshly.
found something, but like,
Oh, okay.
can I just
Well,
elaborate on it?
keep going. Elaborate. Don't fucking talk about what was
Alright.
previously stated in the past.
Speak, Jacob, when
5
you're
minutes.
speaking. There you go. Okay, thank you. But anyways, Ainsley, you say in your doctrine about your security plans, 80% of it is filler. I don't want to hear your life story in security, and as well as that, from the deputy head of the division, Fish. Fish is a capable combatant, a fair man, but not one that I've seen taking responsibility. For that, we'll urge Caboose.
Yeah,
You'll
we'll
urge him.
Caboose.
What?
Yeah. No,
You'll urge
listen.
him.
No. I'll tell you why I said that. Right? Why I wrote it exactly like I wrote it. It's to point out that I'm not going after anyone's head except for yours, and all the deep cabal in the fucking deep state of deep gaming right now. But I want to make sure that like if Fish is willing to get more active, he shouldn't be punished for his position. Like I'll still let him have the opportunity to prove himself, but if he doesn't get more active, then sure, I'll kick him out. Like
He's been given more
stand
than
by
enough
what I
chances to
said
prove
that-
himself, Ainsley.
I
You're
don't
being
know
too
that.
generous with
I'm
it.
not in security. I don't know that. All I can do is watch from the outside and give my perspective. That is all I can do. And like you're in lieutenant, so I understand that you have a lot more like grasp what the fuck's going on here. But you have to understand, not everyone knows what's going on in the room where it happens. Okay, I'm not there. So when it comes to that, I can't really tell you that much. Also, it's not filler. The whole point of it is to motivate people, because I've heard a lot of complaints from the majority of the people in the fucking like cadets, just enlisted ranks, talking like about how they're useless or they feel like they're not involved. And I can understand that feeling, because let's be honest, we're shafting them with the position we're giving them,
Easily.
like holding
You have
people
given
up.
an anecdote for every single plan you've had. For
Yes,
TCU, there's an
because this
anecdote.
is a
For,
gaming experience, Farlow. Everyone should be knowing what the fuck is going on here. It's not just some sort of theoretical mathematical fucking equation. We have our own experiences and we have to share them. And in this case, I have a lot of experiences that I have to share, ones that I think are lacking in today's fucking deep gaming. And I think I want to bring them back. I want to illustrate to people what the changes will be like. I don't want to have people just be like, oh, okay, so this will change, and have no idea where it's going to go, because that's how you give people the fear of change, right? No one knows if that's going to go right or wrong. What I can do is I can make the blow feel a little bit less hard to accept.
Ainsley,
And yeah,
I'm going to be real. You don't experience this anymore because you can't experience it again. You can't
Why
just do a
not?
normal test and have a random TCU that you've already encountered before walk in on your test. You can't befriend him again when he's already your friend.
No,
You've
no,
already
that's
had
not the
these
problem.
experiences before.
No,
They
no,
cannot
no.
happen to you again.
The problem is the majority of TCU in today's society. Yeah, I said that
Oh,
with
Jesus
quotes.
Christ.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm gonna go schizo in a bit because people want to hear something fun. But like the majority of TCU that I've noticed
Wait,
doing
hold up. You
anything
need.
virtually.
I got Benadryl. I got Benadryl. If you want to enhance that experience.
Hey yo, give me that, pass that bitch. Nah, but like for real though, like today's site, I think you've noticed this too, because I read that you wrote a little bit about that as well. Like the divisions are not intermixing enough in a good way. Like the individuals in these divisions don't feel like the individuals that they are. Like people
Yes.
are getting approached based on the division, not based on who they are in the division or what that sort of like. It's just a different experience. You remember back in the day,
Then
like how
Ainsley,
that was so
Ainsley, do you
different?
want to explain this then? You said that once I left FE died. Then
It
how
did.
is that you said that and you're saying it's about the division now? Like,
That, but
stick to one
I don't
story.
get how that's. I don't get how that's.
You said because you were talking about how it's the people. You said you're talking about how it's the people in the division, not the division itself.
No, that's because the division itself is not promoting enough opportunities for the people to be out there. It's literally like it's almost as if you're putting people into a rank and file, don't break out of the line position, and then you're telling them like, you get what I'm trying to say here? Like basically,
Kinda. I'm
you,
kinda catching on
yeah,
to it.
yeah. Like it's not a criticism to you that the division died. It's a criticism to the idea that the division is now so focused on like such a specific, not niche enough though task, like just arresting people and logging it, that uh, that's sort of what's been promoted, that people no longer do interrogations or ask questions or do their own
Ainsley,
little
you
private
don't know why?
investigations. And
Remember when we kidnapped Curry?
yeah, I
We
remember that.
interrogated him. MTF. It was just MTF.
Yeah, it
We
was,
never tried to. Well, we
because
tasked
FE was not
FE.
there.
Ainsley,
Uh,
no, Ainsley. Yes, they were. Yes,
there
they
were
were.
two.
Ainsley,
There
stop
were
lying.
two.
Ainsley,
There
they were
were two.
there.
Follow.
tasked
Ainsley,
FE.
let Follow speak.
You tasked FE with guarding FE bunks. You gave them no orders to interrogate the CI, and now you're saying that FE need to start interrogating people. Where's your logic? You're
Okay,
not.
I'll explain. You're
Follow,
asking
let
what
him
my
respond.
logic is. I'll explain. Okay. Basically, what happened was MTF was escorting him into that room, not to interrogate him as much as to try to search him for anything, and then have a gun to his fucking head. Because if you couldn't tell, like you were there, fucking CI was on our ass the entire time. Literally, as we got into the fucking bunks for FE, we heard gunshots behind us. Fish was there. I'm not gonna fuck with Fish. It was either we kill Curry right now to prove a point, or we just let it go. And that's why we stationed everybody out there. It was just me and Sandman in that room, not to interrogate him. We asked him one simple question: does he have any documents on him? In the 3 seconds we had with him, that was all we could get out before they actually killed everybody on the outside, opened the doors by keypad cracking, and I had to shoot Curry while flashed. Like, there was no chill in that moment for us to send him over to FE bunks and let them actually interrogate him.
It was
Like,
in the interrogation room in FE bunks. Ainsley, what are you
yes,
talking
and
about?
so were the CI. Outside of FE bunks, inside of FE bunks, all the time, everywhere. We killed like 5 CI before we actually managed to fully get him in. Oh, wait, who's Bear?
Oh
Oh my
no.
god.
Oh my god.
Wait, who's
Major
Bear?
Chris.
Who's this guy?
think he is.
Just continue talking. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but like Farlow, I understand that you're trying to find a criticism here, and I understand that I handled the situation wrong. Honestly, it was very like stressful. I'm not gonna fuck with Fish while trying to handle that, especially when I was in a VC with Fish at the time, and he was telling me how close he was getting. Like it was kind of scary. Otherwise, I would have definitely handed Curry over. Like, do you remember? No, maybe you don't. Like way back, there was a whole like thing between CIRT and like a research team in general. FE and like MTF literally did a whole ass fucking like joint.
Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna ask another question to each party. Listen, we gotta end this up, boys. Okay. I appreciate these in-depth things because you talk way too much. Get
Yeah,
bored as
please.
fuck. Listen, Barlow, Ainsley, one question. Barlow, you get inaugurated tomorrow. What's the first thing you do when you get inaugurated and get the power of level 6 clearance? What's the first thing you do?
I already answered this question, and it was to give EC their third nomination.
Okay. And did Ainsley answer the question thoroughly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Question too.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions, or because it is like it's?
I do
4
actually have
a.m.
another
I have
question.
another question.
Ainsley.
Jacob, I have
Yeah?
a question after.
Yeah, of course, Chris. Actually, Chris, you can speak first.
No, because I gotta like think of it and make sure it's. Good.
Yeah, no, I got you. Alright, Ainsley, this question's directed at you because where's your site deputy director?
Yeah. He's working right now. He's got a long day at work.
Okay, and who is he?
Yeah. Simon Hatfield. He used to be previous DOR.
I know who Simon Hatfield is. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing, and I'm gonna ask you this. And I'm gonna ask Harlow a hard question in a second. But you realize that he doesn't have the best image. Why did you pick him as your site deputy director? And do you think that he can better his image by becoming site deputy director? Do you trust him
Yeah.
to do better work than he did at the DOR? Expand upon
That's
that.
actually why I picked him. Like genuinely, me and Simon sort of came up together under Farlow, by the way. When he was DOR, and we stayed like in a very close sort of circle when it comes to research. So we've developed a lot of trust, and he's the one guy who like can do this one thing that I want to do, which is have my deputy be not fully equal, but basically equal to me in power. Because I want the deputy position not to be just a useless thing on the side. So since I can trust him, then I think that'll make it a lot easier. And I think that'll better the site as well, because then there will be 2 people there to sort of manage whatever comes up if there's an emergency or whatever. So
Okay.
that's why I picked Simon.
Farlow, would you like to say anything about that, or?
I already stated a lot about Hatfield, how I think he's incapable of his position, how even before you became site director, yes, they were kind of after his throats. But yeah, I'm not gonna dog on him any longer than I already have because I do like the guy.
Fantastic. And Ainsley, do you have anything to say in response?
Who's debating
Yeah.
each other?
It's me and Farlow.
If you're to describe your opponent in a sentence, and I want you to make this sentence as offensive as possible without breaking any rules.
Oh, fucking nice bad guy.
Dude, dude, you could straight up fucking insult this dude. Like,
Yeah,
rip him.
no. The thing
Make
is,
the debate
like,
interesting.
I'd want to, but there's nothing that I can say that would genuinely feel like it fits to me. It'd just be me throwing random insults. Like, honestly, I genuinely mean it. Like,
Ainsley is a pretentious fuck.
I'm really new to
you
the
can
server.
say that, but I'm gonna argue my way out of that one.
Kozlov, I'm really new to the server. I joined about I think 2 weeks
Yesterday?
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you joined
yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you
Ainsley,
What
Here.
makes you better than this other dude?
That's a question we already answered.
Yeah,
Just well,
question
King.
already answered.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
I want to hear. I want to hear.
Yeah, basically, Farlow has his own strengths and weaknesses. He's already been in the term like fucking God knows how many times. He's already gone like all the power that he fucking wants. He's already pushed a lot of fucking things. I want to push my own buttons, okay? I think the site needs a new fresh face. I think the site needs a new focus, a new direction to head into. And considering I'm relatively experienced, I think, it's time for us to sort of push for that. I don't want Farlow to be the only candidate that ever runs and everyone just fucking concedes to him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I like this guy. He's got big dick energy. I like him.
Alright.
Thank you.
Just vote this other guy. Bear fucking recommends Kozlov.
Right. So, what I have to say is, see, Ainsley is saying that I run every other term, and I've literally said after this term I'm probably going to leave the community for a decent bit. But anyways, he's a site director. Site deputy director is a LARPer. He came up to me first and asked me for deputy site director before he paired up with Ainsley.
Yeah, that's you've made this point like what 4 times now, and the funny thing is that point.
Yeah, because
means
I have to make
nothing
these
if
points
you
again in
delve
front of
into it.
Bear. I have to make the points
Yeah,
in front of Bear.
and I can tell
did it
Bear how
again.
that's just a complete fucking misunderstanding.
You
Because at the
see,
end of the
Ainsley,
day,
when
I
you
never
make when
said-
you make up when you make your points in
My
front of
follow-up
Bear,
speak,
it's all
my
fine.
follow-up speak.
But when I do, why are you making the same points up again and again and again?
It's just all I'm saying is
Yo, he's
that
calling you a
Simon
bitch,
didn't
by the
know I
way.
was
Yeah,
rotating.
take that.
No. All I'm saying, not all I'm
No,
saying.
just-
You are
just
you are.
saying some things.
Personally,
I'm
I
just
wanna take
saying
that.
some things.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't take that, bro. So I
I
suggest you
mean,
like
The thing
fuck
is,
him up.
I don't stoop down to the level of going. "Wee, wee." I think that's
You just
like a
did.
bit. Yeah, I think that's a bit childish, right? It sort of gets a bit boring after a while hearing that for the millionth time. And I think
Alright,
that
guys,
something-
this fighting is annoying. Reptile, what do you have to bring to the conversation, baby?
Do the thing, Reptile. Do the thing.
Yeah,
Reptile
Reptile,
has this really cool
speak
thing.
up.
Reptile
Please
has this really
speak
cool
up,
thing he can do.
Reptile.
Shh, everyone shush. Everyone shush. Everyone shush.
He unmuted himself. Oh!
Shush. Shush.
Yeah, guys, be quiet here. You have nothing to bring to the conversation. Alright, well, I ask you this, Kozlov, or more specifically
Yeah.
Farlow. Why did you pick Reptile, knowing that he's a no mic, and that he's you really only known as a person to follow around? He's always like a right hand man of somebody. You know, just as I had Avius as my right hand man, I had Justin. Reptile at one point was my right hand man. But it's a right hand man, somebody who's a no mic, somebody who really listens to her. Do you think he's capable of being a great leader and a leader that we need site deputy director?
Yes, because Reptile has also been the site director before. Reptile, I've trusted him for a solid year now. We've been good friends for a solid year now. I do trust him with a lot of stuff I had, so we've been running together for SA for a good couple of times. So yeah, I put a lot of my trust into Reptile because we do talk a lot. We talk about the server a lot. So yeah, when I run for site director, it's usually only fucking with Reptile because I have no one else better to run with. So yeah, I have a lot of trust in Reptile, and Reptile reciprocates that trust. So it's a 2-way street, and that's why Reptile's my right hand man.
Funny, almost as if that was the exact same reason that I said I chose Simon. Plagiarism.
At least Reptile can show up to the debates.
And add nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reptile, for being
Hold
here.
up, yo, Hatfield!
to-
Yo,
to
Hatfield!
shadow Hatfield. Yo,
Hatfield! Where you at? Where you at?
Yo, what does Hatfield do for a living?
I don't know, but he does something in retail.
Retail. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand that. Angeloni's best restaurant in the Northeast, guys. Come check it out. Almost got fired today. Mike Maker at the light. Absolute beast. Listen, guys.
Your thin crust is fucking ass. Don't go to it.
Yo, Chris, shut your bitch ass up, bro. Go back to your fucking bunk bed, bro. Where's your bunk buddy at? You said you would jerk him off, you fucking bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck you. That's
Jacob,
on me.
dude.
Jacob, actually, Jacob, I have a question for you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Would you care to explain to the community about the used condom drawer?
Yo, who told you about that,
He has a
bro?
whole used condom jar.
Hey, yo.
His,
Hey.
fucking, his ex-girlfriend looks like a rat. Fun fact.
Oh, damn, bro. Yo, he bringing up the rap, bro.
Yo,
Damn,
Jacob,
no, you
you're
ain't
just
wrong
gonna
about that,
let
bro. You
him
ain't
say
wrong about
that? You're just
Hey,
gonna
listen,
let that
personally,
slide,
I
Jacob?
wouldn't take that, but I know you would live, Chris. You don't know where I live, Chris. But I'll give you my address right now for everybody listening. It is 1 Park Terrace, North Cornwall, New Jersey.
Jacob, I've
01706.
literally met Brandon's dad. I shook his fucking hand. You know that? I shook his
Wait.
fucking hand. He said, "What's up, Chris?" And
Nah,
you know
okay,
what?
if you guys want,
NPC
what?
behavior.
listen, boys, go. Actually, no, I can't take you to Rasser because there's
Has he ever said, "Yo, what's up,
Yeah.
Jacob"? No, probably not. He
Who
gave
did
me a
what?
fucking firm handshake, saying, "Yo, what's up, Chris?"
Bro, I've known him for the longest time, bro. What the fuck is wrong with
I
you,
think
bro?
that's in your own little.
Personally, I want to take that. Honestly, Chris.
Jacob,
Fuck
I'm
you.
really about to come back
Sure.
to fucking Jersey and
Come to Rutgers, bro. We're gonna have a good
I-
time. I'm going out this Saturday. Come through. Come through.
I'll come in like
We hit the bars. We'll hit the bars.
January or yeah, like January.
Guys,
December.
I
I'm
have
not
a-
gonna
well,
be
we're
there.
taking this
I have
debate
an
on its side.
To
I
get back
have
on
an-
track, it seems like basically there's not much left to be said
I
here.
have
seems you're
an
a fun king.
appointment tomorrow.
What?
I have an appointment tomorrow at 11, and it's 4 fucking a.m. now.
I
stayed
go to
up till-
bed. The debate's over.
You
Go to
gotta
bed.
go to bed.
Oh,
You
it's
say-
over. Oh.
All right.
Bitch, man.
Anyway, we're gonna call it here. The debates are gonna be over. For those of you, tomorrow is election day, so if you care about who your site director is, make sure to vote.
Clap my fucking cheeks together.